Unsolved.
Episode 207, Zodiac Killer Case, Paul Doerr's First Kills. By December 1968, Paul had decided they had finally had enough. He was sick of those hippie, wild teenagers, and he was going to do something about it. He grabbed his .22 caliber JC pistol and headed out the door at around 8 p.m. He got in his blue vehicle and he got on the 680, going southwest to Vallejo. Paul exited the highway at Lake Herman Road and headed west. He immediately saw a couple parked on the side of the road as he passed them. He stopped right in the middle of the road. Then he started backing up. And then they entered the roadway and headed in the opposite direction. He turned around and followed them, but they turned off. Paul drove around for a while. Then he drove to Vallejo. And on his way there, he noticed a new car parked in the turnout, a station wagon with a boy and a girl inside. And so he drove on and went to Vallejo, possibly Blue Rock Springs Park, and parked and thought about what he was going to do. He got his gun out, checked it, made sure it was loaded and ready to go. He put on the flashlight on the gun, and he prepared himself. At 11:15, Paul drove to the turnout, and the Rambler was still parked there. He parked next to them. He got out of his car. He ordered them to get out. Betty locked her door, and so did David. Then Paul fired a warning shot into the back of the station wagon. Paul told them to get out, both of them, from the passenger side of the car. Betty was shaking. Then David crawled out, and Paul pointed a gun to his head, and he shot him. Betty was shocked beyond belief. Paul turned his gun toward her and shot her. Then Betty ran and was shot 4 or 5 times more, and then she collapsed near the side of the road. Paul got back in his vehicle, backed out slowly, and headed east to the 680, and then he drove to his home on 225 East Utah Street in Fairfield.
This is the Zodiac speaking. By the way, have you cracked the last cipher I sent you? My name is Paul A. Doerr.
Well, this ends this episode of Unsolved, and Merry Christmas, and have a Happy New Year. See you the next time.